All right, so a couple weeks into camp now. Where is this defense? And how much more growth does it need before opening game?
I wish we were playing tomorrow. No, I mean it's a fun camp. I think we could be good, and every day is a new challenge and a new competition. The way Coach Ches builds it, and it makes it a lot of fun. And we love playing against each other and competing. But I think we're ready to go play somebody else. So we're antsy to get there. Yeah.
Who are some of the guys, playmaking wise, who have kind of impressed you that you think can really contribute this season?
Yeah, I mean, we got a great core group, but we have a lot of depth, so it's hard to single guys out across the board. I think I think some of the most exciting group has been a lot of the guys that were here before, whether it's Jalen Woods, Donnie Plott, those guys that maybe Rod, obviously, guys that have played a lot of football for UCLA, just watching their growth over the past year, and excited to see what they do on Saturday.
Well, something that this team can continue to get better at. I mean, you've been playing and practicing against each other for so long, so how much more detailed and in-depth can you really get?
Yeah, I mean, every day, I think what's cool about us is, you just focus on the next play. You don't focus on the growth as much as just how we have to stop the next play and what we need to do to win the next challenge. So I think other guys might be able to focus more on what's happened maybe since spring ball. For us, it's a daily grind and a daily opportunity to get better. So it's hard for me to answer that question specifically because I stay focused on what's next.
Coach, with DJ Barksdale, we saw him at nickel, we've seen him at corner. With him at corner, why did you elect to make him play there a little bit more, and what did you see from him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a versatile athlete. I think we have a number of versatile guys on the back end, whether it be Cole or Scooter, or, I mean, obviously DJ and Teo. All those guys can do a lot of different things and have done a lot of different things within their career. So it's just finding the best 11 to get on the field for that next play. And whatever we need to do to make sure that we stop Cal on play one, and then what do we need to do for play two. So just focus on what's next and what's the next play and what's the best 11 for that play.
What do you see from the guys playing alongside Teo at safety? Malik Hartford comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean, Malik's played a lot of football. He's won a national championship. He's been in that two deep multiple years there. So obviously he's got a lot of talent and he's made a lot of plays in the past. I think Teo's a very gifted athlete and done a lot of good things. There's a lot of room for guys that have played a lot of ball. So, I mean, we're just trying to get the best 11 out there.
Your staff has had a historically great turnover ratio. How do you kind of coach forcing turnovers?
It starts every day. I know you guys are out there to see it, right? Watching our D tackles pick the ball off. But no, I think it's just an emphasis, and it's within the brand. And I think the guys, they buy into it and they look for opportunities. I think Coach builds it within practice and allows us to really compete for the ball, and that's what it's all about, the ball.
How would you rate the level of discipline of this team at this point?
Yeah, I mean, we're ready to go. That's one snap, one play, one life. So focus on the next play.
If this defense is doing what you want it to, how would you kind of describe it?
Again, I try not to put it in a box, right? What do we need to do for that play? Do we need to play zone? Do we need to play man? Do we need to blitz? Do we need to play softer? I think that's a good defense has versatility and the ability to do any of those things. I don't want to be masters of singular things. We want to be masters of everything. So, that's what practice allows us to do, is play differently at different moments and focus on different packages at different times. But great defenses are really versatile.
Building off that, can you describe the Bruin Bullies, kind of what that brand is and the fundamentals that it's built on?
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. It's a mentality more than anything, right? It's what do we need to do to win the next play, and that kind of that wrestling mentality that I have, that toughness, that internal belief, right? That's what it's about.
Who came up with that name?
I think AI. No, I'm just kidding. No, I grew up in Philly. The Broad Street Bullies were before I was born, but talk about an identity and a brand. I think the guys, they had some options and they chose it, right? And we just went with it.
A couple of your cornerbacks who are holdovers talked about the increased demand of physicality in this defense, being in more run fits. What is the demand on physicality from that position specifically in your defense?
Yeah, any good football, right? All 11 guys going to want to tackle the ball. And we have that, right? We have some really, really tough kids playing DB. Rod comes to mind, Cole, DJ, like those guys love hitting. Scooter loves hitting. When you get that mentality out there and then it starts spreading and you get a freshman like CJ coming in, and obviously he's an elite football player, but he's learning that college physicality and it shows up quickly. Like that's what makes great defenses.
Coach, you just talked
about any similarities between the philosophy at JMU and now, or would you say they're completely different?
Yeah, every team has its own identity, but I think that it's starting to carry over. Yeah, I think we had a really good defense last year, and they had a belief that they were the best in the world. I think our kids are building that belief, and they love the challenge everything mentality, and I think they're excited for it.
Along those lines, having some guys come over with you as part of this move and keeping the coaching staff largely intact, how has that continuity paid off?
It's huge. I mean, Aiden Gobira, he was a leader on our JMU defense. To bring a guy that's completely bought into the brand to help be a leader on the defense. You got DJ who's been a part of big games, Zahir, Spin. Like those guys have played a lot of ball for us, and they understand what it takes to be successful and go for a run like we had last year. But I mean, this team's different and this identity's different. We got to do what's best for this program.
Who's somebody that has started maybe in the background at the bottom that you've really just seen risen and is now really making a force and making their name in this rotation of yours?
Yeah, it's hard to say that because there was nobody in the background when we got here. Everyone kind of started on a fresh pillar. So, I mean, I don't know. We just give everybody an opportunity, and that's what Coach Ches probably does best is give everybody reps. And what you make of your reps is what gets you more reps. So there's a lot of good players here. We have a lot of depth. I think you're going to see a lot of people make plays on Saturday.
Coach, I wanted to ask, you touched on your wrestling experience. Kind of how has that made you into the coach you are today? And when you hear a football player who's a former wrestler, what does that kind of tell you about them?
Yeah, I mean, I think wrestling is a unique sport in that it's an individual sport, and you walk out on the mat and you win or lose, and it's all about just you. And it's a toughness. It's a glorified fight with rules. So, you got to have a mentality to do it, and I think that does translate well to football. Winning your individual battle in football is what leads to team success, and when those guys really buy into that toughness that it takes to beat the guy across from you, then you're going to have a really good defense.
What have you seen from Nico, DeBalie in camp? Can fans expect him to contribute this year?
Yeah, he's getting. I mean, he had a long recovery, right, and he's coming back, and man, he's a tough kid, and he's fighting every day. I think he's going to definitely help us this year.
How about Ryan McCulloch?
Same thing. He's coming back. He's had a long recovery, but man, he's talented. He's played a lot of football. He had a great beginning of the year at Cal before he got injured. I'm excited to see him on Saturday.
Coach Chesney has talked about not putting expectations solely on wins and losses. How do you guys kind of convey expectations to your team?
Yeah, it's never about wins and losses. It's about the process, right? And the process leads to wins and losses. I think that mentality, that brand that we're talking about, that fight for every inch, as long as you're doing that, if the scoreboard comes up with a loss, right, doesn't mean that you didn't win the game from how you prepared and how you played. And every great team I've been a part of lost a game or two in a season. Doesn't mean we didn't fight like hell and come out on top of the end of the season.
Coach, we've seen during practices you guys work on small stuff like medical recovery and transformation. How important is that small stuff and how receptive are the players?
Yeah, I mean, I think every good team focuses on the details, and the details are what lead to success on Saturdays. I think, I don't know any other way. I guess that's just how I was brought up within the industry, but you got to focus on, takeaways and the little things that matter on Saturdays.
How much, if at all, have you guys started to already, look at Cal and what they've been doing?
Yeah, you spend a lot of time all off season, right? That's a unique opponent from a standpoint of they have a new coaching staff, new roster, so it's not like some of the other years where you're walking in knowing exactly what you're about to get. But you got to kind of put the puzzle together and focus on all sorts of different things of what could be. So we're constantly battling that.
On that note, when you've got a left-handed quarterback like Jaren on their side, is there anything different about game planning against a left-handed?
Yeah, I just throw lefty in practice. No, yeah, I mean, obviously you know that you study him and study how he throws the ball and where he throws the ball and all those things. It's hard to correlate it because, their receivers and everything, half of them are new. Where are they going to align? Nobody has any idea. Just stay to your fundamentals, align as well as you can, and play ball and adjust as the game goes on.
I know the guys didn't really have a baseline because everyone's so new. In terms of where they were first few practices to now, who's impressed you? Who's standing out? Who are some guys who their stock has risen in the camp itself?
Yeah, again, I think what's unique for us is for you guys, there's fall camps, there's spring ball. For us, it's just daily, right? I took maybe 2 weeks off in the middle of summer, but other than that, I'm with these guys every day. So again, there is no restart when fall camp starts. There was no, time off where we kind of reset and say, oh, this guy's getting better. It's just what'd you do this day that give you more opportunities the next day. So it's really hard to focus that way.
Anything else, guys? What can Drew Spinagati give you?
He plays hard. He runs. He knows the system. He's extremely physical, and he loves ball.
How is he fitting in with that linebacker? We see a lot of Woods. We see a lot of Samuel, obviously. What's his role?
Yeah, I think there's, a number of them that are going to play. I think Spin played a lot of ball. I think he led a team or he's second in the team in tackles against Oregon. So he's got a lot of opportunity to help us be a really good team.
Colin, I was just curious, from the first time you were with Bob, I guess that was 15 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
To now. I mean, obviously totally different context. Do you think back at all about just kind of how crazy that is to...
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a small school of Salve Regina up in Newport, Rhode Island, and now you're at UCLA, but there's worlds of time in between there that we each went our own way and kind of grew in our own things. So, I mean, I remember the feelings and emotions of coaching with him more than I remember the scores and the plays of those games. He's very competitive. He's very tough. He still loves to draw up a blitz and talk scheme, but more importantly, he makes football fun, and it was fun coaching at Salve. It's fun coaching here.
What do you think is the differentiator for someone like him to make it from a school like that to a power conference job that, a million?
Yeah, a lot of these things are about opportunity. There's great coaches all over the country at Division III, Division II, high school level. It's just them having the opportunity to get to these places, and by him winning and winning and winning, he earned these opportunities unlike any other coach would.
It's interesting, with a lot of some of the, I would call the new generation of head coaches. They're a little bit different in the sense that they're maybe not trying to do an impersonation of Nick Saban or something like that. Do you feel that just with him and he kind of had the form?
Yeah, what's really cool about him, he's been a head coach for I think it's 18 years now. So. Where a lot of coaches, they're getting their first job when they're at this level. He's grown as a head coach. He has his own identity as a head coach. He knows what works within a locker room and his culture speech. So he's not trying to emulate somebody once he got here. He's risen as a head coach.
And also, I was just going to ask you, going through the playoff last year, knowing you were coming here, how would you just evaluate that process? Is there a better way to do it?
But no, I mean, the game's the game, and it's our job to find the holes within that offense and how to attack it. And we took an approach to that game that what we were going to do is try to win the game and not sit back and lose close. And I don't regret that at all.
Fair enough. Thank you.